So DJ UNK died.
Yeah.
That's right. DJ UNK of Walk It Out.
Two-Step.
And Two-Step, who was prolific in 2006, 2007 during the dance phase of hip hop, died at 42 the other day. And something's been happening to me recently, and I maybe it's an effect of age. Maybe I feel my own mortality. But DJ UNK was only 42 years old, and I'm not close to 42, although I'm a little close to 42. I know 42-year-old ass niggas. I know older niggas, which is crazy. How old am I? But something's been happening to me when these black men in entertainment die. There's something, and I don't mean this in a positive pejorative, but there's something romantic and poetic that happens when I think about the lack of their presence in my future. Like I had assumed, I don't know why, not even consciously, I had assumed that DJ UNK was out here still doing the Walk It Out and the Two-Step because, you know what I'm saying, when I was growing up, when you got a little older, you got to go to the Tom Joyner Cruise, okay? You got to be a part of this little arena tour showcase with all your favorites like Joe and Angie Stone. You know what I mean? That's what I assumed as we got older. People from my nostalgic past would still have a place in the present. Like when I watch Geico commercials and I still see 80s rappers, Salt and Pepper, I still see It Takes Two on the 80s commercials, or I'm watching the bootleg game and I'm seeing at halftime, oh, here go Rakim performing at the Nets game, right? I assumed that these people would have a future. But DJ UNK died, and it affected me. And like it hit me a little harder than I expected it, because it reminded me of a time of when I felt like hip hop was a little silly. Yeah. But it felt like it was fun. In which, you know, the hard niggas, the gangsters, all the conscious niggas was looking down on all the dance rap niggas. But at the same time, they knew how to crank that Soulja Boy. Yeah. At the same time, while I'm saying that all the hard niggas and all the gangster niggas and all the conscious niggas was looking down on hip hop, but there's a reason why we got Jim Jones and Andre 3000 on the Walk It Out remix. Right. It's because at that time in hip hop, there weren't a plethora of platform that you can go express these nuanced expressions of hip hop. Everybody had to come together. They were forced together onto this thing that we would call silly, or this thing that we would look down upon, but still, here I am at the beginning of Walk It Out with the most prolific rapper, one of the most quote-unquote conscious rapper, and one of the most gangster rappers in the Jim Jones era, at the same time on a track. So when DJ UNK dies, I'm reminded that this 42-year-old person in his past, 06, 07, when he was what? He's what? 7 years old. He was like 25, 26 in 06 and 07, right? Yeah. He created a platform for hip hop and black folks to come together. Right. When there weren't platforms for us to express these nuanced situations into a forced, tight-knit situation. I hope people are seeing where I'm coming from, as I'm going to talk about Costco and Target here in a second. But then it also made me think of a dream that I had, like a quick dream. You remember the 7 hours that TikTok was dead? You remember the 7 hours that TikTok was dead? In those 7 hours, I smoked a blunt and I had a dream. Not a Martin Luther King dream, but I had a vision. And I wondered, like, man, if they get rid of TikTok and black kids will still dance, where will black kids dance now? Yeah. Will they be forced onto these unilateral platforms where all these styles have to mesh together? I had a dream of what happens when the TikTok dancers meet the tutorialist of YouTube and then meet the viralists of Instagram. What happens when all three of those parties get together? What happens when the TikTok dancers and the sneaky Snapchat users, what happens when those two communities are forced together? Now what? What happens when you put TikTok on Discord? What happens when you put TikTok on Lipstick Alley? What happens when all those individuals are forced to go into other communities and interact in different ways? I had a dream and it was beautiful. And then niggas plus continue, and then we got TikTok back. So, you know, my dream was dead. Speaking of which, rest in peace to DJ UNK.
The best part of waking up is being more and fun.